Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to Confessions of a Doctorholic. I'm your host, Dr. Slayman, still standing, still limping, and definitely healing. So if you've been following along, you know I went from confident rock climber to patient, like in 5 seconds. We've talked about the fall, we've talked about the ED, the nerve block from hell, and the absolute chaos of being a patient. But today's what happens after the hospital discharge. When they send you home high on painkillers, wearing a plaster monster on your leg, and somehow expect you to figure out life. Spoiler, I was not okay. So I get discharged, and I'm groggy as hell. They wheel me out like some Victorian invalid. And I think I'm good, right? I've got oxycodone, I've got Tylenol, I've got Robaxin. What could go wrong? Oh wait, ketorolac. That glorious, magical NSAID completely missing from my prescriptions. I don't know if they forgot to order it or if the hospital just didn't have it, but let me tell you something. When the nerve block wore off, that was not a vibe. I maxed out everything they gave me. I was sweating, crying, lying in bed, swaddled like a burrito of suffering. Thank God for my friends. They literally hunted down the ortho team on call, begged them for a script, and once that sweet ketorolac hit, I was a new woman. Or at least a sedated one with slightly less rage. Let's talk about this cast. This cast, 5 times the size of my leg. I'm not exaggerating. My calf looked like it was cosplaying as a watermelon. And guess what? I had no clothes that fit over it. It was December, freezing, and all I had were my usual scrubs and legging, neither of which screamed accommodates Legzilla. As I mentioned before, my crush at the time, crushed, because apparently humiliation wasn't done with me yet. He brings me men's scrub pants. The nurse then proceeds to cut them open like a designer at Paris Fashion Week, but with trauma and pity. I wore those pants for 3 straight days. I didn't even shower. I didn't even try to change. I was depressed to be completely honest with you. Until a friend brought me some stretchy shorts. That first shower, iconic. I stuck my leg out like a flamingo. Was it doctor approved? Absolutely not. They do say doctors make the worst patients. Did it make me feel alive again? Yeah. The Legzilla cast finally came off a week later. And let me tell you, healing hurts. I had these weird, dull aches in my bones. They don't tell you about the growing pains when you're a grown-ass adult. But we made it fun. My friend and I used to glide through hospital hallways in my wheelchair. She'd push, run, then jump on the back like we were in Fast and Furious reboot, orthopedic drift. I had my scooter. I learnt to go down ramps with style. And every time I almost tipped over, that was character development, baby. There were many attendings that were like, slow down, watch where you're going. Absolutely no faith. I even bought a little bell to get people to move out of the way. My first real steps, around 5 or 6 months later. Tiny, wobbly, victorious. I was fortunate not to have that leg size mismatch, but my left leg was definitely weak, even though that was the functioning leg. The wheelchair weakened me, the scooter weakened me, and then distances that I knew I could do before was now suddenly agony. Confession. Recovery was ugly. It was hilarious, it was painful, but it taught me so much about patience, about letting people help you, about never taking 2 working legs for granted. I kept reminding myself, you're not amputated. There are definitely worst case scenarios. Things will be better one day. So tell me, what's the weirdest, funniest, or most uncomfortable post-op experience you or someone you know has had?